LanguageCert International Spoken ESOL exam, expert level. This is the 1st of July 2019. And Lilla André exam begins. Hello, my name is Kristina Kürti. Can you spell your family name for me?
Sure. A-N-D-R-N-E with an accent.
Thank you. And which country are you from?
Hungary.
Thank you. Now, part 1, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself and your ideas, all right?
Okay.
The first topic is education. Do you think individuals or the state should pay for university education, and why?
Wow, well, that's a hard question because, for example, in America, people should pay for their university educations, but in Hungary, well, I think both. So, you can pay for yourself, but there is a kind of education when it's paid by the public. So, I don't think that one is better than the other. I think that if you pay for an education, it should be better than the public education, but if you're not able to pay for yourself, then a public education should be available too.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Now the second topic is relationships. Do you do the same things with family as you do with friends?
No, definitely not. I mean, with friends, it's a whole other kind of relationship with family, I guess. I love to be with both my family and my friends, but with my friends I do things like going to the cinema for movies that we like and not our parents like, or going to, I don't know, different kinds of restaurants. For example, with older people, we would go to a fancy restaurant, but with my friends we would go to like Starbucks or I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Now the environment.
Okay, environment.
Are people in this country interested in preserving wildlife and natural habitats?
I could talk about this a lot. Actually, my father is a photographer. He takes photos of nature, basically, and flowers. And there are so many wildflowers, endangered species. And on so many occasions, he has met people that wanted to pick it. And they don't know what kind of flower it is, and they don't know the damage that they are doing in the wildlife. So I think people should be more interested in checking out which species in animals and in wildlife are endangered, and what they should pick and what they should not.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And daily life. Is a fixed routine important to you? Why or why not?
A fixed routine?
Fixed routine.
Oh, sorry. Well, I don't really know because both are okay with me. I don't like if my routine is too fixed. Like, if it's like 12 o'clock, I have to go there or here or do something. So I love it when I have more of like a free schedule and that I can deal with it and try to make it comfortable for myself. Mm-hmm. I don't like it when it's too stuffed and fixed.
Oh, so. Thank you. Now part 2, we are going to role play some situations and I want you to start or respond. Okay? The first situation is that I'm a stranger in your town. I start. Where can I go to find some really typical local entertainment?
Oh wow. Well, definitely the city center. You should watch out for egg painting, for example, because that's really Hungarian. Mm-hmm. And maybe museums, because that way you can learn about the culture.
But you mentioned the city center. Where is it? I don't really know where.
Right next to Hero Square, you can find 2 museums at the time. And well, I don't know about egg painting, but you can search it in the net. I think.
Okay. And if I want to go to Hero Square, how shall I get there?
Well, first you have to get to Metro Line 1 and then get off at Hero Square.
All right. Okay.
In
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Now, second situation, we are friends. And you promised to help me with an important presentation, but now you can't. You start.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I know that we talked about this, but I can't help with your presentation.
Really?
Yeah, I'm so
Are
sorry.
you
but
serious?
It's really urgent. I have to go to Cascais and meet my grandparents.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I really hope you can find somebody else.
Or can you give me some tips before you leave? Like, how should I present this topic that I chose?
Well, you know, I made a part of the PPT, so maybe you can
Mhm.
just cut the two PPTs together
Okay.
and read through my part and try to
Mhm.
learn it yourself. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Will you be available on phone?
Yeah, you can call me
Okay,
anytime
good.
if you have any questions.
Thank you.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Third situation, we are old schoolmates. I start. Hi, have you seen anyone from our old school recently?
Honestly, not really. I've been abroad a lot recently,
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, I'm sorry, not really.
I wish we could meet up sometime.
I think we could organize a meeting. That would be
that's
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, school reunion.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With all teachers and people from the class.
Okay.
I think a lot of people would come. We were a good class.
Yeah, well, we can check each other's,
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know, Facebook.
Yeah. Maybe make a
Accounts
Facebook
or-
group and
That's
just
good.
yeah,
Okay, let's
send
start
out an
with that.
invitation.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Okay, part 3. In this part, we are going to discuss something together, and here are some opinions about how public money should or should not be spent. Okay? Let's discuss what we feel about these things and decide which ones we most agree and disagree with.
Okay.
Okay? Take 20 seconds to think about what you want to say. Lilandri, please start.
Okay. I definitely do not agree with it would be better not to have public services at all, but let private individuals pay for their needs. So that is, I think, not good at all for anybody. So let's take public transport. We have to pay for it a certain amount, but if the government would not pay anything for public transport and for keeping the buses ready and for go-to, I think it would be really devastating because it would be so expensive. So especially in a city center and in a capital city. Maybe in places in the countryside it would work, but I'm sure it wouldn't in Budapest.
I must agree with you. I think public transport is crucial in a
Yes,
city. I mean, a support of
Yes.
the state.
You can't take your car everywhere, and not everybody has a car, not everybody has money for that. So if you don't have money for your car, you won't have money to deal with the public transport all by yourself.
Right. Is there any opinion that you can agree with?
Taxes we pay should be invested in free public transport, definitely. I don't think that it's possible to have completely free public transport because of fuel, gas, and everything that's going on. So I think it's a good thing to pay for a ticket, but I agree with that it could be a little bit cheaper. So.
Yeah, it's kind of related to what you had said before,
Yes.
right? And I do agree with that as well. What do you think about this idea that more of our national income should be spent to help developing countries?
In my opinion, we should develop our own country. So we shouldn't spend money on other countries. I do believe that it's a good thing to have the Red Cross, for example, that helps across the world. It helps people with money and, well, not even money, but with healthcare, for example, in countries that healthcare is not that developed. So that's a good thing. But spending, for example, our tax money, I think it should be really in the state. So spend it on our schools, on our hospitals, and try to develop our own country.
Yes, I must agree with you again. Okay, thank you very much. Now, part 4. You're going to talk on your own for about 2 minutes, and your topic is finding the time to do the things you want.
All right.
Okay? You now have 30 seconds to write some notes to help you.
Thank you.
So your topic is finding the time to do the things you want.
All right.
Lilandri, please start.
Okay. So, as you know, I'm a school student. I'm in high school, and school takes up a lot of time, especially learning. So, right next to school, I do have free time. So I'm not saying that it's so heavy that I only learn at home and never ever have free time. But when I do, sometimes the internet steals it. So that's what I really, really want to put my effort into. So I don't spend hours in front of YouTube watching videos like cat eats pizza and stuff like that. So that is what I really like to do, to plan out my afternoon, what I have to do for school, what I have to do for my work, because I work at 2 places. And I actually do have a blog and my own YouTube channel. So I really want to have free time next to all of these duties that I really want to do, but also when I prepare articles for my blog and for the blog that I work at, that's sort of like free time. So I really like writing articles, and yeah, that's sort of like what I like to do. And then of course I want to have time for friends and family. And that's how I really want to deal with my time. So I can have time for my duties that I really want to do, and then for friends and family. And it usually works out. So I'm not short of time. I don't feel like it. I really do have lots of things to do. I think more than people at my age. But I never ever had the issue of not having enough time with my friends. So it all works out in the end.
All right, good. Let me ask you some questions, okay?
All right.
Have you ever had too much free time in your life?
Yes, in summer. Sometimes I get bored, but that was the summers before I started working. So now that I work, it's different. So I don't really have time when I'm that bored as I used to be before in the summers, but I sometimes have too much free time.
Who should teach people to manage their time effectively?
Ooh, wow. Okay. Well, there are experts on that, so they should teach people. But maybe successful businessmen, because business, and especially starting your own business, takes a lot of time. And I can imagine that they struggled with managing their time. So they should be teaching us how they started and how they learned from their own mistakes and how we should do it better.
Okay. And why do people have little free time these days?
Maybe working, because people work a lot, and a lot more people work than they used to, I guess, because there are so many, for example, there are so many works that are in front of computers, and then they go home after like 5 p.m. and then they start to look at their phones and time just drains through internet, I think. So what is really the problem is that we work a lot, and then when we get home there are so many distractions from family that usually time just slips out of your hands.
All right. Thank you very much, Lilandri. That's the end of the exam.
Thank you.
Thank you.